Hello, everyone, and welcome to WCBN Sports' presentation of Michigan softball. The Wolverines set to take on the visiting Northwestern Wildcats in Game 2 of the three-game set in just a few moments here in Ann Arbor. And the stadium has a bit of a new ring to it this afternoon. It's Alumni Field at Carol Hutchins Stadium. They just wrapped up the official unveiling of Carol Hutchins Stadium with Hutch and all her family, friends, and a lot of former Michigan softball players out on the field in what was a special pregame ceremony for the best college softball coach in NCAA history. And alongside Coby Segal, I'm Jared Greenspan here to give you the call this afternoon. A special day, as we said, on Alumni Field. The sun is out now, which is something I would not have said about an hour ago while walking to the field in the rain. It's a big one today for Michigan. The tough test continues against a Northwestern team that enters at 29-9 with a 14-1 slate in Big Ten play. So, Coby, this one will be difficult for Michigan to pull out this afternoon.
I mean, absolutely. Northwestern is 14-1 in the conference. They've won 9 in a row. Their only Big Ten loss was against Iowa in a doubleheader, no less. Doubleheaders are notoriously tough to sweep. I mean, this Northwestern lineup is scary. High on base, high slug. There are absolutely no breaks in this lineup. So Lauren Durkowski is going to have a tough test for her here this afternoon.
And Durkowski got the ball to begin yesterday's game. She did not fare great, lasting just into the fourth inning, was tagged for 4 hits and a couple of runs, gave up 2 home runs and walked 4 batters. Durkowski has been so dominant this year. Tough test for her against this Northwestern team, but Michigan will need her to put up a good performance in the circle this afternoon if the Wolverines are to win this game.
Yes, and I mean, absolutely, and take a break for the anthem. Or no, never mind, the anthem's not going. But I mean, on the other side for Northwestern, Cammie Henry is kind of the opposite of Lauren Durkowski. Not a ton of strikeouts, but still nonetheless very effective. A 2.39 earned run average. Doesn't walk a lot of people. Doesn't strike out that many people either, but limits the hard contact. So a little bit of a style contrast here in this game.
Starting lineups being introduced just about now for the two teams. Let's talk about Hutch for a little bit. One of the best coaches, if not the best, in NCAA softball history. No shortage of accolades for her. 38 years at Michigan. She's the winningest coach in NCAA history, and it's about time she gets her flowers with the stadium renamed this afternoon.
I mean, absolutely. She has 1,707 all-time wins. That's a lot. I'm not a mathematician, but that is a lot of wins. I mean, she credited all of her players in the speech here, and of course they deserve so much credit. But I mean, let's give Carol Hutchins some credit. I mean, a Hall of Famer, 18-time Big Ten Coach of the Year, 2005 won the Women's College World Series. I mean, just a legendary coach, a Michigan legend, and a women's sports legend.
Staggering numbers, really, when you look back at Carol Hutchins' career as Michigan coach. She guided the Wolverines to 22 Big Ten titles, including 9 straight at one point, 29 NCAA tournament appearances, and was 18-time Big Ten Coach of the Year. Just ridiculous video game numbers for the best coach in the land.
I mean, yeah, like you said it, video game numbers. I mean, this is especially to create such a powerhouse out of Michigan, which is not a traditional power as you would say. It's up north. There's not necessarily softball all year round. So just so impressive from Carol Hutchins.
We'll take a quick pause here as the national anthem about to serenade for the first time at Alumni Field at Carol Hutchins Stadium. So first pitch here at Alumni Field at Carol Hutchins Stadium due up in just a few moments. Let's run you through the starting lineups real quick for both of these teams. Starting with the visiting Northwestern Wildcats, who come in at 29-9 with a 14-1 mark in Big Ten play following their 4-3 11-inning marathon victory last night. Northwestern sends up Skylar Shellmeyer in center field batting first. She hits .360 on the year. Maeve Nelson plays shortstop and bats second. Jordan Rudd is in the 3-hole and catches. She had the game-winning hit last night in the 11th inning. Hannah Katie's batting cleanup, playing third base. Nikki Cochran bats fifth and plays first base. Angela Zedak batting sixth in left field. Kansas Robinson hitting seventh as the designated player. Kelsey Nader bats eighth in right field, and Grace Nito bats ninth at second base. And the Wildcats will send Cammie Henry to the circle this afternoon. Now for the Michigan Wolverines, coming in at 22-17 with a 9-6 mark in Big Ten play. Michigan has won 6 of its last 8 games despite the tough luck lost last night. Ellie Sealer leads off in left field. Lexi Blair, the senior, in the 2-hole and playing center field. Ellie Mataya batting third, and in right field, Kiki Thole, who had a couple of hits last night, catches and bats fourth. Melina Livingston batting fifth. Indiana Langford batting sixth. Lexi Voss, Audrey LeClaire, and Ella McVeigh round out the 9. And it's Lauren Durkowski, the stalwart right-hander, in the circle this afternoon for the Wolverines, starting the second game of this 3-game set between Michigan and Northwestern. Durkowski 16-7 on the year with a sparkling 1.62 earned run average, steps into the circle. Shellmeyer, left-handed hitter, digs in. Durkowski winds up, and her first pitch tails low and away for ball 1, and we're underway with a first pitch time of 2:08 and a cool 55 degrees at newly minted Alumni Field at Carol Hutchins Stadium. Durkowski's 0-1 is over for a strike, says home plate umpire Charles Blackwell. He's calling balls and strikes with Kaylee Young down at first and Tyler Barfus at third to round up the umpiring crew for today's game.
And for Durkowski, do not want Skylar Shellmeyer get on base. 14 stolen bases.
She slaps the 1-1 foul down the third base side. It caroms off the Northwestern dugout, and it's quickly 1-2.
Speed is not part of this Northwestern team. She's the only one with more than 4 stolen bases. So
1-2 the count. Durkowski comes set, now deals. And it's just below the knees, 2-2. A good eye by Shellmeyer, who was on base all 6 times in yesterday's ballgame, recording just 1 hit but walking 5 separate times. That's pretty hard to do. And Shellmeyer showing off her eye right there. 2-2 the count, leading off this game. Durkowski's pitch in there, strike 3 called, and Durkowski begins the day with a K.
Wow, I mean, Durkowski started Shellmeyer off with 4 fastballs, then goes to the off speed, absolutely freezes her. Great first strikeout.
Maeve Nelson, the right-hand hitter, climbs into the box. Durkowski waits in the circle, and now deals the first pitch to Nelson, just at the knees for a strike, 0-1. A fast start is imperative for Durkowski, who got roughed up a little bit yesterday. We're not accustomed to seeing that from her this season. Didn't make it out of the 4th inning, scattered 4 hits and 4 walks, only struck out 3 batters, giving up 2 runs. 0-1 the count, Durkowski deals. And change of pace there with the off-speed pitch, clipping the knees, and it's 0-2.
And Maeve Nelson here for Northwestern, a very patient hitter, loves to get in deep counts, so she walks a lot, but she also strikes out a lot, and see an 0-2 count here.
30 strikeouts for Nelson, first on the team. 0-2 pitch. Upstairs, Thole leaps up to grab it, and it's a 1-2. Maeve Nelson and then Jordan Rudd waiting on deck for the Wildcats here in the top of the first with 1 away. Game 2 of this 3-game set after Northwestern took the opener in a 3-hour, 40-minute affair in last night's ball game. 1-2 the count. Durkowski deals home. Wave and a miss. Well out in front of the off speed. 2 up, 2 down in the first for Durkowski via a couple of strikeouts.
And that's back-to-back strikeouts, off speed, one looking, one swinging. Clearly a very effective pitch for her so far.
So 2 up, 2 down, and here comes Jordan Rudd, the catcher, right-handed hitter into the box. Durkowski's first pitch bounces to the plate, and it's 1-0. Rudd had the game-winning hit in the 11th inning in last night's ballgame. Such a tough loss for the Wolverines. We'll see how they rebound this afternoon, going toe-to-toe with the best team in the Big Ten, but just falling a little bit short in 11 innings. 1-0 the count. Durkowski deals. That just misses inside. Ball 2.
And do not want to fall behind on Jordan Rudd. Slugging percentage of .525, so very powerful if she gets a hold of one.
2-0 the count. Durkowski deals. Off speed over for a strike, and it's 2-1. Rudd went 1 for 6 last night, but that one hit, as we mentioned, was the game-winning hit. Left a couple of runners on base. Durkowski behind in the count, 2-1 against Rudd, who hits it at a .295 clip. She deals, and that's low, ball 3. Hannah Katie, the third baseman, is on deck if Rudd can extend the inning.
Yeah, Durkowski has to be a little careful here. I think she's having a little more confidence with the off speed, as her last 3 fastballs have been balls. Let's see if she goes back to it, but don't want to give up a soft one here.
Dangerous place here, the 3-1. Misses inside, ball 4. So Rudd works a 5-pitch walk, and Durkowski, after walking 4 yesterday, walks her first batter of the afternoon today to give the Wildcats a 2-out base runner.
Yeah, and walks, especially with 2 outs, can really burn you here. 2 strikeouts and you get a walk, so don't want to give Northwestern any life here, especially Hannah Katie, dangerous hitter.
And Katie steps in, lines it to left. That's a foul ball. One hops along the sidewall, 0-1. Katie, a .286 hitter. Batted cleanup yesterday and went 1 for 5 with a walk, reaching base twice.
And maybe their best overall hitter walks about as much as she strikes out.
0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. That's boxed around, and did it hit Katie? It did. And so Katie wears one. She's on at first. Rudd scampers down to second. And suddenly, Lauren Durkowski finds herself in a bit of a pickle with 2 on and 2 out in a scoreless game in the top of the first.
Yeah, and now, I mean, we start with 2 strikeouts. Now, really 2 unforced errors, a walk and hit by pitch. So it's a little dicey here in the first inning.
The first pitch comes home, and it's over for a strike to Nikki Cochran, the number 5 hitter, 0-1. Cochran, a .345 hitter, the senior first baseman, having an excellent year. Runners on at first and second. Durkowski in the circle, ahead in the count, 0-1 to the lefty Cochran. She deals home. Grounded to short. McVeigh has it. She'll go to second for the force with Langford covering to retire the side. So Durkowski wiggles her way out of a jam. Heading to the bottom of the first in Ann Arbor. No runs, no hits, 2 left. No score between Michigan and Northwestern. So an impressive frame by Durkowski with those 2 strikeouts to open the game, and then the resiliency to induce the ground out after walking a batter and hitting another.
Yeah, and I mean, very key to get out of that inning unscathed. You don't want to go down to this Northwestern team early, especially on a day where we're honoring Carol Hutchins. Carol Hutchins certainly would not want them to go down very early in this game, but by all standards, a pretty good first inning, except for some unforced errors by Durkowski. But she looks pretty good. I think her off-speed pitch is really working for her today. Seems to be able to throw that for a strike consistently.
And that'll be important for Durkowski as she takes her second crack at this Northwestern lineup following yesterday's poor start. On the mound for the Wildcats this afternoon is Cammie Henry, the right-handed pitcher, senior enters this game with a 2.39 ERA and 67 in the third innings pitch. She struck out just 43 batters, but doesn't walk many and allows the opposition to hit just 250, making her 11th start of the season. Comes in sporting a 10-1 record.
Yeah, and those walks, I mean, only 18 walks on the season and 67 in the third innings pitched. So, I mean, he does a great job of keeping the contact, of letting the hitters hit their way into an out, pretty much.
And so Ellie Sealer, left-handed hitter, climbs into the box to lead off this game in the bottom of the first against Cammie Henry, the right-handed pitcher. Sealer, Blair, and Mattia, 1, 2, 3 in the order. First pitch comes in high, 1-0 to Sealer. The sophomore went 1 for 5 in yesterday's game, now hitting .319 on the year. Started in 39 games for Michigan this season. The 1-0 over for a strike, and it's 1-1.
And this is not a Michigan team that walks a ton, so I'm expecting Cammie Henry maybe to get some quick innings here.
1-1 the count. Henry deals. Popped up foul over the grandstands and at a play, 1-2. Now, today is one of those great days where the weather has held up and the schedule aligns so that softball and baseball are playing at home at the same time, and the way these two stadiums are positioned back-to-back against one another makes for a great sight when you're in the press box.
Great sight.
1-2 the count. Sealer pops it up left side of the infield. Katie, hoping for a play in foul territory, makes the two-handed catch for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, and Ellie Sealer will want that one back. That was very high and just kind of fouled off for an out. But for Cammie Henry, that's what she does.
So here's Lexi Blair, the stalwart in the middle of this lineup. The senior hitting .345 with a .469 slugging percentage and a team-high .422 on-base percentage. Left-handed hitter steps into the box. The first pitch is laced towards left center, chasing Schellmeyer over in the gap, and she'll get there to make the catch. So the center fielder got a great jump on that one. Blair gave it a ride. Instead, it's a harmless fly ball, and 2 up, 2 down in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, I mean, another important part when you have kind of a contact pitcher is the defense behind you. And Skylar Schellmeyer, she made that play look easy, but she just took a great angle.
First pitch is up and away, a ball to Ellie Mattia, 1-0. 2 up, 2 down for Henry so far. A scoreless game in the bottom of the first between Michigan and Northwestern. Henry deals. That one's over for a strike on a fastball, and it's 1-1.
For Mattia here, this is important to try to get something going for Michigan here.
1-1 slap fouled on the left field side at a play, and it's 1-2. Mattia hitting .244 on the season. Accumulated 119 at-bats in their senior year for the Wolverines. Went 0 for 4 yesterday and drew a walk. Henry deals. Up and away, ball 2. Henry eyeing a 1-2-3 first. Runs were at a premium yesterday with the 4-3 final in 11 innings. And with another great pitching matchup in store this afternoon, should be a similar result. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Slapped straight back, a foul ball. And it stays 2-2 as Mattia stays alive.
Yeah, I mean, Mattia with a pretty good at-bat so far.
Left-handed hitter making Henry work hard. She deals, and that one skips into the plate. And so Mattia, right on cue, continues to make Henry work. It's a full count.
Yeah, going from 1-2 to 3-2. If she can get on base, it'll drive the pitch count up and maybe put some stress.
Full count pitch, slapped straight back, a foul ball, and we'll do it again. So Henry being forced to work here from Mattia with 2 out and no one on in the first as she eyes a 1-2-3 inning.
Yeah, in for from Mattia, spoiling the pitches that might be a strike, but you can't hit for power.
3-2 pitch. Slap to the right side. The second baseman Nito's over. She fields, fires, and gets Mattia by a couple of strides. So after all that, Cami Henry works a 1-2-3 first. No runs, no hits, and none left. Heading to the second at Alumni Field at Carol Hutchins Stadium. No score between Michigan and Northwestern.
3 balls in play there. And
we mentioned that Henry doesn't strike out a ton of batters, just 43 and 67 in the third inning. So Michigan putting the ball in play, but Northwestern's fielding so far top-notch. Nice play in center field as well by Schellmeyer to run that Blair line drive down.
Absolutely. See if Durkowski can avoid some of the walks and hit by pitches we saw in the first inning. The 6, 7, 8 hitters for Northwestern are up. They are no slouches down in the batting order. There's a reason they're 14-1 in the Big Ten.
6, 7, and 8 begins with Angela Zedak, and as you said, no slouches. Zedak, the senior, hitting 6th and hits it at a .315 mark this year. So a deep lineup for Northwestern and for Durkowski to contend with.
Yeah, and it's so important to have a deep lineup. You don't want to give the pitcher breaks. You want to create as a high stress environment for the pitcher as you can.
So Durkowski has completed her warm-up pitches. She loosens her arm at the circle. And the right-handed hitter, Angela Zedak, steps into the box to begin the top of the second. No score between Michigan and Northwestern. Durkowski into the windup and deals, and that one skips into the plate, blocked by Thole, and it's 1-0. Zedak, as we mentioned, enters the day hitting .315. That's third highest in this Northwestern starting 9. 1-0 the count. Durkowski fiddling with the ball a little bit. Now comes set. There's the 1-0 pitch to Zedak. Lifted high in the air to left, pretty deep. Sealer measuring it up against the wall and right at the fence. Able to make the catch. Well, it's about 200 feet down the line, so give it about 205, 207 where Sealer was standing. And right at that fence made the catch. The ballpark just big enough to hold it.
Yeah, and that was hit so high at first when it came off the bat. That kind of looked like an innocent fly ball, but it just kept carrying. And a great play by Sealer, finding the wall with her left hand.
And it bears mentioning today that the wind is blowing out, so that certainly had an effect on that ball. Windy and overcast day here in Ann Arbor. Durkowski's first pitch to the left-hand hitting Robinson misses outside for ball 1. Robinson, the freshman, has had a stellar freshman campaign, hitting .277. 1-0 the count to the number 7 hitter in the Northwestern order. Durkowski deals. Check swing foul, and it's 1-1.
And for Michigan, with the wind blowing out, maybe that favors them a little bit against more of a contact pitcher like Cami Henry.
1-1 the count with a 1 away in the top of the second in a scoreless game. Durkowski deals. Breaking ball over for a strike, and it's 1-2. And Durkowski has done an excellent job so far today of mixing up her pitches.
Yeah, I mean, just a fantastic breaking ball. And if these Northwestern hitters aren't seeing it well, I mean, you might as well just keep going to it.
1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Right on cue, the off-speed over for a strike. It's in there, and Robinson punched out for the second out of the second.
And, I mean, so far, that breaking ball has been absolutely unhittable today. Wow.
3 strikeouts for Durkowski. 5 outs into this game matches her total from yesterday's start. Your first pitch to Nader. At the knees for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Same thing again, going right back to the well. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right indeed. And Durkowski using the formula. Here's the 0-1. And that one just missed. Another breaking ball, and it's 1-1. Nader hitting at a .287 clip on the year with a home run and 15 RBIs. Durkowski comes set. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Lays a bunt down, and it goes foul up the third baseline, 1-2.
Yeah, 1-2. I'm kind of fully expecting for her to go back to the breaking ball, especially against freshman here.
Grace Nito would be on deck if Nader can keep the inning alive. 1-2 the count. Durkowski eyes home and deals. Weave and a miss and a breaking ball, strike 3. What an impressive inning for Lauren Durkowski. Works in 1-2-3 frame. Down goes Northwestern in the second. And we head to the bottom of the second. No score, Michigan and Northwestern.
Just a dominant inning there. I mean, the breaking ball is on cue. Clearly has her best stuff in terms of her breaking ball today. I mean, wow.
And it's amazing how much of a difference a couple of feet can make. That high fly ball to left off the bat of Zedak, just not deep enough, and the ballpark able to hold it, and then Durkowski comes right back after the long fly out with 2 vintage strikeouts.
Yeah, and I mean, also credit Durkowski. I mean, a little bit of a rough start yesterday, then comes back today with a new fire and trying to avenge yesterday's start. Fantastic mental toughness.
So let's see what Michigan's bats can do in their second time up against Cami Henry, who worked a 1-2-3 first. It'll be 4-5-6 in the Michigan lineup. That's Kiki Thole, Melina Livingston, and Indiana Langford up against Henry here in the second.
Yeah, Kiki Thole is kind of a fascinating hitter. Her slugging is .538, but I mean, she only gets on base at a .351 clip, so I mean, it's not necessarily all or nothing, but when she makes contact, it goes far.
And we saw that yesterday as the first pitch comes home to Thole at the knees for a strike. In Friday's ball game, Thole with a couple of hits and 2 RBI. We'll look to keep up that hot stretch today. She's batting .264 on the year with 7 home runs. Henry deals, and Thole lifts that one in the air to right. Hit pretty well, chasing Nader back right at the wall. Leaping, it's gone! Kiki Thole goes the other way for a solo shot, and Michigan strikes first. It's 1-0.
Wow. Oppo Taco. Oh, my God. The right fielder was playing at the wall. Kelsey Nader, the freshman, was playing like at the warning track near the wall, but still couldn't jump up to get it. Fantastic display of power there from Kiki Thole.
And Thole just sliced that ball the other way, and it kept on tailing towards the corner. Nader had it measured up, but just not tall enough to keep that ball in the webbing of her glove on the leap. Her glove was over the line. She wasn't tall enough, though. An impressive homer for Kiki Thole, her 8th of the year, and Michigan strikes first against Cami Henry in the bottom of the second. Henry's first pitch to Livingston is rocketed to right. This one will hang up for Nader, and she'll make the two-handed catch for a hard first out.
And in this early going, that's 3 balls hit really hard here. 2 of them lineouts, but obviously Kiki Thole with the homer. So clearly they're seeing Cami Henry pretty well today.
And Indiana Langford, left-handed hitter, tries to push a bunt and misses, and it's 0-1.
I mean, in contrast to Kiki Thole, the outfielders are playing very in for Indiana Langford.
279 hitter, the 0-1, swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. So Henry trying to settle in after giving up the opposite field blast to Thole. It's the 12th home run she's given up this season. It's just over 68 innings pitched. 0-2 the count to Langford. Chop to third. On the backhand, it's Katie. Makes the throw across the diamond in time for the second out.
A fantastic arm there from Katie. threw a strike across the diamond.
Made that play look rather easy.
Very easy. I mean, it's definitely not an easy play, but she made it look like I can make that play.
Lexi Voss, right-handed hitter, climbs in with 2 away in the second. First pitch hammered towards center. Schellmeyer has it lined up, makes the catch for the final out of the inning. But not before Michigan strikes first. Kiki Thole with the Oppo Taco, a solo shot to right, and Michigan's up 1-0 as we head to the third. And Thole's power, very apparent and very impressive. That's hard to fight that ball out to right down the line as a right-handed hitter, but Thole managed to do so.
Yes, and just a great start for Michigan here. Durkowski looks dominant. Thole hits the dinger, and Northwestern 14-1. I mean, it's obviously very early in this game, but I mean, the power of Carol Hutchins coming back looks to be
some magic at work here,
yeah.
You say?
Yeah. Some devil magic for Michigan.
Carol Hutchins has the stadium officially renamed in her honor today. It was announced about a month ago, but today the official unveiling, and we have a healthy crowd on hand. The weather has held up. It's a nice day for softball here at Alumni Field at Carol Hutchins Stadium. And so far, so good for the Wolverines, with Michigan on top 1-0. The opposite field home run by Kiki Thole has put the Wolverines on the board first. Let's see how Lauren Durkowski handles herself now that she's been given a lead. 1-0 Michigan here in the top of the third.
Yeah, in the second time through the lineup, I wonder if she will keep going to the breaking ball that has been so successful, or will she change it up, because these Northwestern hitters have seen her a time through already.
And we'll see how the chess game unfolds. Durkowski's first pitch to Grace Nito dips low and away, ball 1. It's Nito, the 9 hitter, and then Schellmeyer and Nelson, the top of the order, for the Wildcats due up in the third. Durkowski yet to allow a hit this afternoon. The Wildcats have 2 base runners. 1-0 the count. The pitch skips into the dirt, and it's 2-0.
And Grace Nito, you do not want to walk her with the top of the order up next.
A 3-10 hitter, so as we've been saying, no slouches in this Northwestern lineup for Durkowski to handle. 2-0 the count. Durkowski deals home. And there's a strike on the outside corner, 2-1.
Going back to the wall there, the off speed.
2-1 the count. Durkowski comes set. Now she deals home. And there's that off speed over for a strike. So we're wondering how the repertoire changes second time through the order for Durkowski. Nito is yet to face her, but there's that off speed to begin the third.
I think 2-2. I think you go right back to it.
2-2 the count. Here comes the pitch. Chopped to short. Fielded by McVeigh. Fires to first, and she gets Nito by half a stride. Nice play by Ella McVeigh, who's been tested a couple of times already today.
Yeah. Huge first out. Good thing she did not listen to me, because that fastball worked.
Well, it's a good thing they can't hear us.
Yeah.
And here's Skylar Schellmeyer's played a nice center field this afternoon. Struck out back in the first. First pitch, fastball over for a strike, 0-1. Schellmeyer, as we mentioned earlier, walked 5 times in yesterday's ball game.
First time up, struck out looking on the breaking ball. See how that affects her at bat here.
0-1 the count. The pitch below the knees. Thole wants to see if Schellmeyer went around. She did not, says the third base umpire Tyler Barfus, and it's 1-1.
It's always a tough call to tell whether someone went around. There's no really concrete rule.
1-1 the count. Durkowski deals. Chop back to the circle. Durkowski fields, flips underhand to first for the second out of the inning. 2 up, 2 down in the third as Durkowski eyes the shutdown frame.
Yeah, another 1, 2, 3 inning is possible here.
As Maeve Nelson, right-handed hitter, climbs into the box, batting just 192 on the year. Struck out, swinging back in the first. 1-0 Michigan here in the top of the third. Nobody on and 2 away. Durkowski's first pitch to Nelson skips into the box, and it actually went up and ate the home plate umpire, Charles Blackwell, who will look to walk that one off, and it'll be attended to briefly by a trainer, but he quickly motions the trainer away, no worse for wear. And now he's out to break up the meeting at the circle that was called to give him more time.
I think they're making sure that the umpires is okay there. And, I mean, for Kiki Thole, the catcher, I mean, if you're the catcher, you got to protect the umpire too. So, I don't know, maybe the umpire takes a little revenge here. I don't know.
1-0 the count to Nelson. Durkowski deals. That's at the knees for a strike, and it's 1-1.
Dave Nelson, our only swing of the game so far has been on the strikeout.
Just a 190 hitter. 1-1 pitch. Misses inside, and it's 2-1. Durkowski and Thole each wanted that pitch, but did not get the call. 2-1 the count now, with 2 away and nobody on in the top of the third. Durkowski eyeing a 1-2-3 frame. 2-1 pitch. Misses inside, ball 3.
Some great takes from Maeve Nelson here, and if you're Durkowski, you got to throw a strike here. When Maeve Nelson hits the ball not too much of a threat, as she has only a 192 average. So
Durkowski has retired the last 6 batters. Look for her to come right after Nelson here. 3-1 pitch. Oh, she went back to the breaking ball, and Nelson swung right through it. It's 3-2. That's a gutsy pitch call there, because that was not a strike.
Yeah, absolutely. Nelson clearly expecting a fastball there. It was way out in front, and 3-2 as Durkowski looks at her armband.
3-2 the count with 2 away and nobody on in the third. Durkowski set down the last 6 Wildcats. 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball to short. McVeigh fields, fires, got her by half a stride. It's another 1-2-3 inning for Lauren Durkowski, who's settled into a groove. Still 1-0 Wolverines as we head to the bottom of the third.
A great job by Durkowski. Back-to-back 1-2-3 innings. See if Michigan can have some of that contact fall for some base hits against Cammie Henry, as she has no strikeouts.
So Michigan on top 1-0. The lone run coming via the opposite field home run for Kiki Thole, and Durkowski has been brilliant. She's allowed just 2 base runners, both with 2 outs in the first via a 5-pitch walk and a hit by a pitch. But other than that, Northwestern stymied at the plate.
Absolutely. Oh, giant glove catch.
I was wondering where that was going on. The glove is not as big as advertised. I'm a little disappointed.
I mean, that's a pretty giant glove.
I would call that a big glove.
That's giant. Like, I'm not sure what your definition of giant is, but that's the biggest glove I've ever seen in my life. Like, that's as big as her, like, that's way bigger than her head.
In a giant glove contest, for those of you listening, in which the participant has to catch 3 baseballs or softballs in her giant glove, I think the glove should wow me away when I see it.
So, I mean,
I have high expectations.
Yes, I mean, but it was just a little girl trying to catch it. So,
she did win, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's too big, then she might not be able to hold it. So I don't know.
First pitch to Audrey LeClaire, left-handed hitter, rides high 1-0 as Cammie Henry begins her 3rd inning of work, trailing 1-0. She's allowed just 1 hit across 7 batters, but that hit A solo home run off the bat of Kiki Thole. 1-0 the count. Into the windup and deals. Misses high, 2-0. LeClaire 1 for 4 last night with an RBI. Drove in the game tying run in the 10th to send us to the 11th. 2-0 count. Deals. Right back to the circle. It's knocked down by Henry. She'll get to it, but she has no play as LeClaire, using her speed, beats it out for what I think should be an infield hit.
Just a rocket right back to Cami Henry. I think it might have went off her leg as the umpire checks if she's okay. But, I mean, just a rocket right back at the pitcher and great hustle.
And she does appear okay. And now Michigan has a leadoff base runner in LeClaire. A lot of speed on it first. LeClaire has stolen 8 bases this year. And Ella McVeigh, the number 9 hitter and a left-handed hitter, climbs into the box. Corner's pinched in against McVeigh, who shows bunt. The first pitch comes home. McVeigh does bunt, and it goes foul up the third base side, 0-1.
Yeah, and with McVeigh, who doesn't walk a lot, doesn't get on base a ton, I think a sack, bunt, or hit and run is going to be in play here.
0-1 the count to McVeigh, a .259 hitter. Here's the pitch. Bunted up the third base side. Katie charging. Double clutches. The throw to first is low, and McVeigh beats it out. Well, Katie double clutched as if she was thinking about throwing to second. Really didn't have a play on LeClaire, and it ended up costing her. And now the Wolverines, runners at first and second, with nobody out in the third.
Just that little hesitation there. I mean, if you're a third baseman, you got to know that she's going to be that the runner on first is most likely going to get there at second unless it's hit really hard, and just a little bit of mistake there.
It could prove costly. Things are now turned over to the top of the order. Michigan already up 1-0 and threatening for more, with LeClaire on at second and McVeigh on at first. And Ellie Sealer climbing into the plate. Left-handed hitter. 0 for 1 this afternoon. Sealer a .316 hitter. Corners are still pinched in.
Wonder if they'll go for a sack bunt again.
First pitch, there's the bunt right back to the circle. And this time, Henry's able to field and throw out Sealer at first. Both runners advance, so LeClaire's down to third, McVeigh on at second, and the tables are set with one away for Lexi Blair.
Lexi Blair leading the team in on-base percentage. So if Lexi Blair can get one through the infield, hopefully McVeigh is able to score from second.
Blair lined out to center on a nice play by Shellmeyer back in the first. Runners on at second and third. Cami Henry in a jam. First pitch to Blair. Rides high, 1-0. Ellie Mataya's on deck if Lexi Blair can't get the job done. Michigan looking to extend a 1-0 lead. Henry comes set into the windup. 1-0 pitch. Blair to the right side and through, a base hit. Here comes LeClaire. And held at third is McVeigh as the right fielder Nader gets it in on a couple of hops. Lexi Blair comes through with an RBI single, and it's 2-0 Michigan.
Great hit by Lexi Blair. Just snuck through the right side, and McVeigh from second was ready to score, but the stop sign was held up in. What a throw by right fielder Kelsey Nader. That was a rocket, so a good stop sign there. She would have been out.
2-0 Wolverines, runners at the corners. McVeigh on at third, Blair on at first, and the left-hand hitting Ellie Mataya at the dish. Kiki Thole, who's already homered today, looms on deck. So a big batter here for Cami Henry. Into the windup, first pitch to Mataya. Flashes bunt, pulls it back. There goes Blair. She'll steal second base rather easily as the shortstop Nelson came to cut that throw off to see if they could bait McVeigh into trying to score from third. McVeigh did not budge, and so now runners at second and third with one away.
Perfectly executed play there for Michigan.
1-0 the count, the pitch. Over for a strike, 1-1. Perfectly executed on both ends, really, by Michigan and the Wildcats. Northwestern didn't really have much of a shot to get Blair at second.
Yeah, and it's the second baseman's job to let the shortstop know if she should cut it off or let it go through.
1-1, breaking ball just low below the knees, and it's 2-1. Good eye from Ellie Mataya. Precarious spot here for Henry with runners at second and third and one away. Mataya at the dish and Thole on deck. 2-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Fouled straight back to the screen, and we saw Mataya foul off a lot of pitches back in their first at-bat in the bottom of the first, which ended in a ground out.
Yeah, and for Michigan here, the one thing you cannot have a pop-out or strikeout because that eliminates all possibility of McVeigh scoring.
2-2 pitch. Lined into left field, down for a base hit. Here comes McVeigh. Blair's held at third as Zedak got to it quickly. But it's another run-scoring single, this time for Ellie Mataya, and it's 3-0 Michigan.
Fantastic execution with runners in scoring position, making contact, taking the ball the other way, not trying to do too much, not trying to hit a 3-run bomb. Just great execution for Michigan, and 3-0 on this tough Northwestern team.
And we'll have a meeting in the circle here as Cammie Henry's been roughed up in the second inning. Let's walk you through, or in the third inning rather, let's walk you through how it happened. First, it was an infield hit for Audrey LeClaire that ricocheted off Cammie Henry. Then it was a bunt attempt by Ella McVeigh that the third baseman, Hannah Cady, double clutched on, and McVeigh beat it out. Then after Ellie Sealer laid down a successful sacrifice bunt to move the runners to second and third, Lexi Blair came through with an RBI single, and Ellie Mataya did the same, and now it's 3-0 Wolverines, with the runners still on the corners and the big bat of Kiki Thole coming to plate. Michigan really threatening to get this one out of hand early with the way Durkowski's been dealing on the mound.
Yeah, and if Michigan can get Blair home, and I wonder with Kiki Thole, wonder if they're going to try the same. If Michigan's going to try the same first and third play we saw earlier.
First pitch to Thole. Misses, and it's 1-0. Blair on at third. Mataya, the runner, on at first. Thole has already homered this afternoon. A dangerous spot here. The 1-0 pitch. Thole hammers one deep to center. This is sending the center fielder back. Looking up, it's gone. Have yourself a day. Kiki Thole does it again. A 3-run shot to break this one open. It's 6-0.
First one was to right field. Second one, straight away center. Wow.
Kiki Thole showing her prodigious power, blasting that one to center. Thought Schellmeyer might have a read on it for a second, but it cleared that 222-foot sign in center field. And we said that Northwestern and Cammie Henry were in a precarious spot with Thole coming to the plate, and boy, did she deliver.
Yeah, I mean, a crooked number on these Wildcats, a 5 spot in the third so far, and we only have one out.
6-0 Michigan with 1 away in the bottom of the third. The first pitch to Melina Livingston, tails inside, and it's 1-0. Well, Cammie Henry entered the day with a 2.39 ERA. She's given up 6 runs while getting just 7 outs, and that ERA has ballooned to 2.91. The 1-0 pitch misses inside to Livingston, and it's 2-0. And a couple of Henry's infielders come near the circle to give her some words of encouragement. She's been tagged for 5 runs in the bottom of the third to hand Michigan a 6-0 lead. 2-0 count. Here's the pitch to Livingston. Fouled out of play, straight back, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, now the calculation for Northwestern becomes, like, you don't want to give up on the game, but do you want to use your best pitchers in the game when you're down 6-0 when you have one tomorrow as well?
2-1 the counters the pitch. Livingston rifles that one into right field for a base hit. And the onslaught continues for the Wolverines against Cammie Henry.
Yeah, the Wolverines are relentless right now. Not taking at bats for granted. Just because they're up 6-0 doesn't mean you get too aggressive or get too wild up there. And it's their change pitcher here.
And so that's going to be it for Cammie Henry, tagged for 8 hits and 6 runs in 2 1/3 innings pitched. There's a brilliant performance by Michigan's offense. One thing that the Wolverines spoke about after yesterday's game was the need to string together more hits and do so with more consistency. Well, they've done that today, and it also helps when you have the power bat of Kiki Thole in the middle of the order.
Yes, and I mean, it's nice to hit singles, but it's also hard to string a bunch of singles together. So you're right, it does help when you can hit 2 home runs. And I mean, that's those 9 home runs on the season, leads all Wolverines.
And each of her home runs today, very impressive. You had the opposite field one right down the right field line, and then the towering shot to straightaway center. She'll look for the home run trifecta next time, trying to hit one out to left, which in theory should be the easiest for a right-handed power hitter.
And I mean, just great hitting by Thole. Clearly not trying to hit a home run. Just she has so much power that she's able to hit a home run straight away, center and right.
First pitch from Sydney Supley misses, and it's 1-0. Supley, the new pitcher for Northwestern. The left-hander sports a 5.31 ERA in 27 2/3 innings pitched. Indiana Langford at the plate with Livingston on at first, and Langford sends one deep in the air towards right field, chasing Nader back, looking up, it's gone! Indiana Langford hits one out to right field. A rude greeting for Sydney Supley, and it's all Wolverines, 8-0 in the 3rd.
Her first career homer, too.
And can you believe the onslaught we're seeing right now at Alumni Field at Carol Hutchins Stadium? Michigan is blowing the doors off Northwestern. They've put on a 7 spot here in the 3rd inning and lead 8-0.
I mean, just no mercy from Michigan here.
And lefty on lefty, too, with the freshman Langford against the southpaw Supley. 8-0 Wolverines.
Statement game here for the Wolverines.
Lexi Voss, right-handed hitter, climbs in and swings through a fastball. 0-1.
I mean, and for Michigan, I do not expect them to give up any at-bats.
That pitch at the knees to Voss, and it's 0-2.
Voss also, maybe Voss can get her first home run of the season here.
0-2 to Voss. Supley trying to get settled in. The 0-2, low and away, ball 1. So Michigan, after tagging Cammie Henry, jumped all over Sydney Supley, too, with that 2-run shot to right. 3rd homer of the game for the Wolverines. Thole has gone deep twice, and now Langford. 1-2 pitch to Voss. Loop towards right. The second baseman over. Back throw, not in time. Tried to throw it off her back foot. Nieto ranging far to her right, and it's an infield hit for Lexi Voss.
Such a tough play there. Really no chance.
The hits keep
to
coming.
Get Voss, yeah. And Sydney Supley, she has lit up 10 homers in 27 2/3 innings. More homers than strikeouts, which that is a little concerning when you're talking about a pitcher.
Well, Michigan has 8 hits in the inning. The only batter who didn't get a hit was Ellie Sealer, who laid down a beautiful sacrifice bunt. That's just how things are going right now for Michigan. Up 8-0 with 1 away in the bottom of the 3rd. Maddie Ramey Maddie Ramey, rather, here to pinch run for Voss on it first as LeClaire steps in. First base, ripped in the air towards right. That's down the line. That's going to land for a base hit. It hops over the wall and out of play. It'll be a ground rule double for Audrey LeClaire, her second hit of the inning. Well, the umpires have yet to call time, but that clearly bounced over and off the railing above the yellow line. Ramey was racing home, and she is rightfully going to be placed back on third base. So second and third with one away will be the situation for the Wolverines. 2 hits in the inning for LeClaire, and Michigan just can't be stopped. 9 hits in an onslaught of a third inning.
I mean, just a rocket down the right field line, and lucky that it bounced over because I think Ramey would have scored.
She was flying around the bases. Instead, the baton is passed to Ella McVeigh, who reached on a bunt attempt of her own earlier this inning.
Yeah, and that play was so key because it made it first and second, nobody out. If they get that out, it could be a completely different game.
And Ramey on at third, LeClaire on at second. Supley's first pitch home to McVeigh is a check swing foul up the third base side, 0-1. All smiles for McVeigh, even though she wanted that one back. But can't help but smile when you're up 8-0 in the third against the best team in the Big Ten that has just one conference loss this season.
Michigan trying to secure a top 4 seed to get a bye to the quarters.
A 1 pitch, McVeigh slaps it into right center field for a base hit. Ramey will score. LeClaire hold on a third, and Ella McVeigh comes through to make it 9-0. When will it stop?
Based on how this is going, I don't think it's ever going to stop. And, I mean,
Sydney Supley has had a tough go of it in relief of Kemi Henry, who had a tough go of it herself. But Supley has come in. She's given up a home run to Langford, a single to Voss, a double to LeClaire, and a single to McVeigh, and has yet to get anybody out.
This Michigan crowd is doing the wave here. We do have a fantastic crowd on hand here today.
And they are all jazzed up doing the wave right now, as this game is totally out of hand. 9-0 Wolverines. Lauren Durkowski has been sitting for 30, 40 minutes now.
Yeah, and
it feels like, at least.
Yeah, so there is that element. Does Michigan take out Durkowski even though she's been so dominant, because they are up 9-0? But then again, I mean, this Northwestern offense is well capable of scoring 9 runs. So you do want to just put this game away.
And Ellie Sealer, the only Wolverine not to register a hit this inning, because in her first at-bat, she laid down a sacrifice bunt. First pitch to Sealer, popped up, left side of the infield. The shortstop, Nelson, makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So Sealer unable to join in on the party, and Lexi Blair will come to the plate with runners at the corners and 2 away. Northwestern finally eyeing a way out of this disastrous inning.
Yeah, and a lot of first pitch swinging here. Clearly really like these pitches coming from Supley.
Supley's first pitch to the left-hand hitting Blair is ripped in the air to right, a foul ball. Blair got well in front of that one, gave it a ride.
And I just know Kiki Thole in the hole is just waiting.
She wants a shot.
Oh, yeah.
0-1 the count to Blair, trying to pass the baton. Here's the pitch. Over for a strike, and it's 0-2. So Northwestern a strike away from getting out of an inning in which they've allowed 8 runs and 10 hits. Merciless inning. It's been all Wolverines in this one. 0-2 the count. Supley into the windup, deals home to Blair. Missing outside, 1-2. Blair singled and drove in the first run of this inning, what feels like a lifetime ago. 1-2 the count. Supley comes set. Now deals. And Blair shoots that one into left field, down for a base hit. Here comes LeClaire. McVeigh moves up to second. It's another RBI for Lexi Blair. The hits keep on coming. It's 10-0 Wolverines.
It's keeping the line moving, not doing too much. Just a great liner, opposite field, gets the run in, and just one more hitter closer to Kiki Thole, trying to hit 2 home runs in 1 inning.
First pitch to Mattia, over for a strike, 0-1. McVeigh, the runner at second. Blair on at first. Kiki Thole looms on deck. 0-1 the count, the pitch. Low, 1-1.
These Michigan hitters a great chance to get those stats up.
Supley, 1-1 pitch, rides high, 2-1. The last thing Supley wants to do, facing a 10-0 deficit, is to walk Ellie Mattia to get to Kiki Thole, who has homered twice already in this game. 2-1 the count. Supley deals. Low, ball 3.
This is getting dangerous.
Well, we would love for Thole to come at bat with the bases loaded. If you're Supley, just pour it over the heart of the plate. 3-1 the count. Runners on first and second. The pitch. Upstairs, ball 4. Mattia works a walk. The bases are loaded, and here comes Kiki Thole.
And the crowd senses what could be happening here.
Well, Thole, in her first at-bat in the second, got Michigan on the board with a home run just over the wall down the right field line. She came up to bat earlier this inning in the third and blasted a 3-run shot over the fence in center field. She now comes to the plate, eyeing her 3rd home run of the game and perhaps the home run trifecta if she could hammer one out to left field. The outfield very deep. The bases are loaded with 2 away. Supley, the left-hander, stands in the circle, but Thole will call for time. The crowd alive right now in a 10-0 game. Supley at the belt. First pitch to Thole. Rides high, 1-0.
And if you're Thole, it's you've hit 2 home runs today. I'm sure she knows she's capable of hitting a home run, but if she takes a walk, I mean, that's great too.
1-0 to Thole. Over for a strike, and it's 1-1. 2 home runs on the day for Thole. She now has 9 on the year. Came into the game slugging .536, leading all Wolverines. Bases are full. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Just below the knees. Ball 2. McVeigh leads off of third. Blair on at second. And Mattia on at first. 2-1 the count. Supley, the left-hander, facing Thole. The 2-1 pitch. And Thole fouls it straight back. 2-2.
Just missed that one. Just got a little under it. Crowd's getting very, very excited here.
Palpable energy inside Alumni Field at Carol Hutchins Stadium. 2-2 the count to Thole. The bases are loaded with 2 away. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, ball 3. Supley has nowhere to put Thole, buried in a 10-0 deficit. 9 runs home in the inning, and the bases still loaded with 2 outs. A 3-2 count to Thole, who has already homered twice today. Supley into the windup. 3-2 pitch is low, ball 4, and Thole will take her base. She'll work a walk. McVeigh comes in to score. The inning continues. It's 11-0 Wolverines, and there's no room on the scoreboard to put the 10 spot in the 3rd inning. It simply says a 0 because there's not room for that large of a crooked number.
Oh, my God. And just great maturity by Kiki Thole. Not trying too hard to hit the 3rd home run, taking her walk. That's just great maturity, great hitting right there. She's dancing because she's been on base 3 times here. If I hit 2 dingers and walked once, I would be dancing as well.
11 Michigan. Wolverines have scored 10 runs on 11 hits this inning, and they forced another Northwestern pitching change. Sidney Supley did not fare well after relieving Cammie Henry. They've got a new pitcher coming to the circle for the Wildcats. Looks like it's Lauren Curry.
Only one inning pitched for Lauren Curry, and she gave 3 earned runs. So Northwestern clearly is not going to want to waste their top pitchers here today, as they have a game tomorrow, and the game tomorrow counts just as much as the game today.
And that will almost certainly be the rubber game. Michigan dropped a hard luck affair last night, 4-3 in 11 innings, battled to the very end against a Northwestern team that entered today at 29-9 with a 14-1 mark in the Big Ten. And Michigan is taking it to the Wildcats today. 11-0 the score. If you're just joining us, well, you've missed a heck of a lot. Michigan put up a 10 spot in the 3rd inning, and it's still ongoing. Northwestern in the midst of its 2nd pitching change of the inning. Lauren Curry will be the 3rd pitcher the Wildcats have thrown to the circle in this inning alone. And Melina Livingston coming to the plate with the bases still juiced.
And just a chance for Northwestern to really stop the bleeding here. And again, for Melina Livingston, bases loaded up, 11-0. Relatively inexperienced pitcher. It can get tempting to want to try to hit a grand slam, but if you try to hit a grand slam, it's going to be hard to hit a grand slam.
Blair off for 3rd, Mattia on at 2nd, Thole on at 1st. Lauren Curry's first pitch of the day hits Melina Livingston, an inauspicious note to begin her afternoon, and it's 12-0 Wolverines, and Northwestern's catcher Jordan Rudd is shaken up behind the dish.
Yeah, I wonder if the ball hit her in the knee or thigh, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, or maybe I think it was her hand. Yeah, she's shaking her hand. That's gotta hurt.
And Rudd will stand up. She appears no worse for wear. 12-0 now Wolverines. Blair trots in to score. Mattia now the runner at 3rd. Thole on at 2nd, and Livingston on at 1st. And here's Indiana Langford, who homered to right earlier in this inning. The first home run of Langford's career. She did so against the southpaw Sidney Supley. So left-handed hitter gets to face the right-handed Curry. Bases still loaded with 2 away. First pitch to Langford. Tails outside, ball 1.
Langford 2 for 2 on stolen bases today. Pretty good.
1-0 the count. Curry deals. Way outside, ball 2.
Not Langford. Livingston, 2 for 2. Who's on first?
Livingston on at 1st, Thole on at 2nd, Mattia on at 3rd. The 2-0 from Curry to Langford. Up and away, ball 3. And nothing is going Northwestern's way right now.
Yeah, and if you are Langford, I'm expecting her to have the total green light here.
3-0 the count. Curry deals. Outside, ball 4. Langford works a walk. 13 runs are home. It's 13-0 Michigan, and the Wolverines have hung a 12 spot this inning.
It's a great way to get your run differential up if you are the Wolverines.
Just an eye-popping display from Michigan.
I mean, these Michigan hitters have been, they've been. It's not just been the homers or hits. It's been the walks. Just fantastic plate discipline. It's so tempting to want to try to hit a home run every time when you're up this much, but just being patient enough to take the walks it shows the maturity from these players.
Alexi Voss, who singled and was pinch ran for, comes back into the game to bat here as the designated player. First pitch is inside, ball 1, and Curry really struggling. She's hit a batter, walked a batter on 4 pitches, and now behind in the count 1-0 to Voss with the bases loaded. 12 runs home in the inning. 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. Way upstairs, ball 2.
What's really tough is if you're in the field and you've let up 12 runs this inning and it's been a lot of walks. It's a lot easier when they're hitting the ball.
2-0. And there's a strike. Lauren Curry finally finds the zone, and it's 2-1. Dole the runner at third. Livingston on at second. Langford on at first. Voss, the right-hand hitter, at the dish. The right-hander Curry into the circle. 2-1 pitch. Fouled straight back, and it's 2-2. 13-0 Wolverines. Michigan has scored 12 in the inning and still threatening for more.
No strikeouts for Lauren Curry on the season. Maybe she can get her first here.
2-2 the count. Curry deals home. At the knees, strike 3, and at long last the inning comes to an end. And what an inning it was for the Wolverines, who will get a standing ovation from the crowd on hand. They put on a 12 spot in the frame and now lead it 13-0.
And I don't even know how long Durkowski has been sitting. That was a long inning. I don't know if we have a timer somewhere that can tell us, but that was a long inning. Durkowski is coming back out, though.
Michigan had 11 hits in the inning, 2 home runs, and nearly batted around twice.
Crazy inning.
13-0 now the score, and we'll see how Durkowski is able to handle a return to the circle after the long rest.
Three walks and hit by pitch as well that inning. And this game is not over. This Northwestern lineup is extremely capable, the deepest in the Big Ten, and so for Durkowski, it's definitely going to be hard. Sitting for so long. Hopefully she was walking around, staying warm, maybe playing some catch. But it's definitely tough when you're sitting for this long as a pitcher and have to go out, especially when you're up 13 runs. But she does have a little bit of leeway here, so she can take her chances.
I'd say she has a little bit of leeway.
Yeah. I'd say just a little bit.
Up 13-0. Her first pitch to Jordan Rudd dips low. It's the first pitch she's thrown in probably 35, 40 minutes. Wish we had timed it. If only we had the foresight there. 1-0 the count. Durkowski back into the circle, facing the 3-hitter Rudd. 1-0 pitch. Inside, ball 2.
And 2-0 count. This is not a situation where you want to be walking people because you don't have to pitch around Northwestern here.
Rudd walks back in the first in her lone plate appearance. The 2-0 comes in at the knees, and it's 2-1.
And for Northwestern, down 13-0, but you can't get it all back at once. There's no 13-run homer, so you gotta start small.
2-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Loop down the left field line, a foul ball, and it's 2-2. 3, 4, and 5 in the Northwestern order. That's Rudd, Katie, and Cochran up for the Wildcats here in the 4th against Lauren Durkowski, who has been staked to a pitcher's dream, up 13-0.
Rudd was so far out in front of that breaking ball. I think Durkowski's going to go back to it.
Rudd's 2-2. Or 2-2 from Durkowski, rather, to Rudd. Sails inside, 3-2. Some groaning from the boisterous faithful on hand here. 3-2 the pitch. If you're Durkowski, just come right after Rudd. up 13-0. Leading off the fourth, here's the pitch. Fisted foul down the right field side out of play, and we'll do that again.
Back-to-back fastballs here. Still think, I'm going to preface this with don't listen to me, but I feel like an off speed would get the job done.
Well, let's see. 3-2 pitch. Went to the fastball high, chopper to short. Fielded by McVeigh, throws to first for the first out of the fourth. Well, fastball did the job too.
Yep.
You did preface it with don't listen to me.
Yes, do not listen to me. I'm not a certified pitching coach. I don't think you have to be certified, though.
Well, if there's anyone close to certified, it's Jen Brundage, who's been doing this for
Yes.
25 years.
Absolutely. I think I trust her.
Katie, left-handed hitter, steps in. Durkowski's first pitch is a ball, 1-0. Katie was hit by a pitch back in the first. Northwestern had a fleeting rally there. But Cochran grounded out to retire the threat with 2 on and 2 out back in the first. That feels like a long time ago. 1-0 pitch. There's the breaking ball, and it misses outside, ball 2. So all of a sudden, a much tighter strike zone for Charles Blackwell in a 13-0 game. Make that make any sense. 2-0 the count. Durkowski looking to find the zone into the circle against the left-hand hitting Katie. 2-0 pitch. Breaking ball dips low, check swing, and Katie did not go, says the third base umpire Tyler Barfus, and it's 3-0. So perhaps, as one would expect, Durkowski, who had to sit for so long, struggling a little bit to begin the fourth with her command. 3-0 the count, the pitch home. There's a strike on a fastball, and it's 3-1. Nikki Cochran on deck with the 1 away in the top of the fourth. 3-1 the count to Hannah Katie. Durkowski deals. Over for a strike, 3-2. Well, Durkowski has allowed just 2 base runners today via a walk and a hit by pitch. She's allowed no hits here with 1 away in the fourth.
It's a very interesting fact that there are no hits today.
The 3-2 pitch. Line to second, fielded on a hop by Langford. She'll toss it over to first in time for the second out of the inning. So behind in the count twice to begin the inning. Durkowski works her way back to end the at-bats unscathed.
And this is back-to-back days where I've watched a baseball/softball game that has been where the other team has had no hits for a while and one team has had like a million runs.
First pitch flared to left. Sealer giving chase, but it's a foul ball. 0-1. Nikki Cochran, the batter. She came up to bat with 2 on in the first and 2 away. Chopped into a 6-4 fielder's choice to retire Northwestern's lone threat of the afternoon. 0-1 the count. Durkowski deals a rise ball high, 1-1. Cochran, left-handed hitter, batting .342 on the year.
Durkowski doing a great job so far, getting into deep counts but not walking people.
1-1 pitch, breaking ball below the knees. Cochran wanted to go around, but she held her swing, and it's 2-1. So Durkowski's fallen behind all 3 hitters here in the fourth against the meat of this Northwestern lineup. The Wildcats so far, though, unable to get to her. 2-1 the count. Durkowski deals home. And that breaking ball misses outside, ball 3. So not only has Durkowski fallen behind on all 3 hitters, she's worked 3 ball counts.
Yeah, and that breaking ball was not for a strike. First 3 innings, pretty good at throwing that breaking ball for a strike. Maybe the long rest you had, maybe that's a factor.
3-1 pitch. Outside ball 4, and so the Wildcats have their third base runner against Lauren Durkowski, who issues her second walk. And meeting at the mound here is Jen Brundage, or is at the circle rather, as Jen Brundage strolls on out. With the Northwestern as a 2-out base runner, and Angela Zedak due up.
And as you said, 3 3-ball counts in a row. It might not matter for this game, but going forward, you definitely do not want to be in 3-ball counts consistently. So it's important for Drukowski to find a rhythm here and start getting ahead of some hitters as she was in the first 3 innings. That's why she was so dominant.
First pitch to Zidak, chopped back towards the circle. Drukowski out to get it, flips to first in time, and just like that, she's out of the 4th. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Michigan up 13-0. Drukowski still yet to allow a hit through 4.
Just a little swant there from Northwestern. Zidak. And anytime your pitcher and you let up a swant, usually
Is this a swant? A swinging bunt?
Yes.
I don't think I've ever heard that term.
You've never heard of
I love it.
Swant, yes. I was a frequent swanter back in my
I believe I was too. That's why we're up here.
Yes.
13-0 Michigan. It'll be Lauren Curry back out into the circle for more. She's the 3rd Northwestern pitcher. All 3 have struggled pretty much equally.
For Curry, some pretty good experience too. I mean, not really any pressure here. You can just go out and pitch, and whatever happens, happens.
Five's going to come in for 4. Yeah.
Bridget Donahue, freshman, coming in for senior Maeve Nelson here.
So some substitutions with this game well out of hand. 13-0 the score. If it's an 8-run game after the top of the 5th, the run rule would go into effect. Audrey LeClaire, who's 2 for 2 today, batting .248, steps into the dish, left-handed hitter, takes the first pitch, fastball up and away for ball 1.
So here's an interesting debate. I'm gonna jinx the no-hitter, but does a no-hitter count if it's a slaughter rule no-hitter?
I think you get yourself in the same territory as a no-hitter in one of those 7-inning doubleheaders in Major League Baseball, and I don't know the answer. I believe there was one of them. No? Didn't Madison Bumgarner do it?
Yes, you're right, yeah.
Of all people?
Yeah.
2-0 over for a strike, and it's 2-1.
Bumgarner got the DFA.
His career might be dunzo. 2-1 the count. And Curry struggled to find the strike zone back in the 3rd. She deals home to LeClaire. Up and away, ball 3.
For LeClaire, only 5 walks on the season.
Three and one the count. Deals home, and LeClaire fouls it off the netting on the left field side. 3-2. Funny to see all the fans' reaction sitting in those bleachers down the third base side, jumping back when that ball came their way, but the protective netting there to shield them.
I'm very grateful for the protective netting. I mean, it's scary when foul balls just scream at you and you've no mitt.
3-2 the count. Curry's pitch, and LeClaire fouls that straight back.
I think back in the day, I could be totally making this up, but like right behind home plate, I don't think they had any netting.
Well, that sounds pretty dangerous.
It does.
3-2 the count. Curry deals. Up and away, ball 4, and LeClaire's on base for the 3rd time today with a walk.
Another great walk for Michigan. Oh, baseball safety nets were first installed in 1879. Thank you for the research team for that one.
We have a research team, or is it just the internet?
Yeah, I think we have a research team. They're unpaid, but
It's an unpaid internship.
yeah.
LeClaire on it first. Nobody out in the bottom of the fourth. First pitch to Ella McVeigh is over for a strike. 0-1. McVeigh also 2 for 2 on the day. A lot of hits in this Wolverines order. 12 of them to be exact. Good for 13 runs. An onslaught for the Wolverines. 0-1 the count. LeClaire on it first. Lauren Curry deals home, and McVeigh slaps it up the third base line foul. 0-2.
McVeigh 2 singles here. 2 runs scored as well.
0-2 the count. Curry takes a deep breath. Now goes back into the circle. Sealer and Blair to follow in the fourth.
Showing bunt really early.
The pitch upstairs, ball 1.
A little bit of deception from McVeigh, showing bunt pretty much the whole time when Curry was set, then pulls it back.
1-2 the count. Curry ahead in a hitter for once. She's really struggled with control. Here's her 1-2 breaking ball inside. It gets away from the catcher, and LeClaire will sneak on down to second. That's Lauren Saborski behind the plate, who had to go off her mitt. Saborski into the game for Rudd. A number of position changes here for the Wildcats. Donahue is out at short as well to get Nelson off her feet. 2-2 pitch. Up and away. Ball 3. Another full count.
For McVeigh, some more good experience, though. Full count here.
Left-handed hitter shows bunt with the 3-2 pitch coming. She pulls it back and chops it slowly up the third base side. Curry lets it roll. It stays fair. And so Ella McVeigh has her third hit of the game. LeClaire scampers down to third, and Michigan picking up right where it left off in the third. Runners at the corners and nobody out.
I think Curry was hoping it was going foul. Tough to judge those balls down the third baseline, but ultimately a great hustle by McVeigh, and that works the same as a rocket to right field.
Indeed it does. Ellie Sealer stands in. First pitch on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1.
Sealer has not gotten on base yet. So
It's the only one.
yeah, so
The 0-1. Chopped to third. It's booted on the backhand by Katie, and everybody's safe. So Sealer gets on in an unconventional manner. We'll see how they rule it. It should be an error. The base is now full of Wolverines again. And Lexi Blair coming to the plate.
yeah, I think they're probably gonna rule that in 0 for 3. Oh, no, no, oh no, never mind. That's McVeigh. Yeah, no, I think they're probably gonna rule that in error. You're right.
Nonetheless, Sealer does get on.
Yeah,
So.
rule of the fielding error. Now, if the
Are you eyeing Kiki Thole coming up again?
yeah, I mean, she's in the hole and no out, so it's likely she gets an at bat again.
13-0. Bases are loaded. Lexi Blair, left-handed hitter with a couple of hits today. A single in the third and a single in the third. Curry's first pitch to Blair. Tails low and away, ball 1.
Blair maybe Michigan's best all-around player. Their center fielder, of course.
1-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Over for a strike. 13-0 the score. The bases are loaded with nobody out in the fourth. And you know what this feels like? Feels like one of those games you play a pickup on the playground and you pick teams randomly. And then the first game happens and it's so embarrassing that you need to switch the teams.
Yes.
1-1 the count. Here's the pitch to Blair. Lifted in the air towards left. Zedek charging, so make the basket catch. Here comes LeClaire tagging the throws up the line. LeClaire scores. It's a sacrifice fly for Lexi Blair to make it 14-0 Wolverines.
Great execution for Michigan. Great base running by Audrey LeClaire. Not watching the ball, listening to her coach. When her coach says go, she sprints to home, and then great slide to avoid the tag there.
So Blair drives in her third run of the day. Runners on first and second now with Ellie Mataya. 1 for 2 coming to the dish. Curry into the circle, into the windup. First pitch rides high, 1-0.
Except I think the only difference with your hypothetical situation you brought up, this would be like if the team you thought was too good
That's
got
true.
destroyed.
That's
14-0.
true. 1-0 high, ball 2. That is very true. Which makes this performance by Michigan even more impressive. Northwestern coming into the day at 29-9 with a 14-1 mark in Big Ten play, and Michigan just boat racing the Wildcats this afternoon. 2-0 the count to Mataya with Thole looming on deck. Here's the pitch. Low, scooped nicely back there by Saborski behind the plate, and it's 3-0. And the floodgates really opened early on in that third, and water is still whooshing out. 3-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, ball 4. Mataya works a walk, and the bases are loaded again for Kiki Thole. Now, Thole came up to the plate with the bases loaded in the last inning, and she worked a walk. She's also homered twice today, eyeing her third home run of the day.
She's got a chance here. If she hits this ball to left field, the home run trifecta.
First pitch to Thole. Misses inside, 1-0. Thole, the junior catcher. She's had a 2-home run game before, but never a 3-home run game. The 1-0 pitch rides high, 2-0. We'll see if she even gets something to hit here.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't expect her to, and that can be, I'm sure that's going to be frustrating for her, but if you take a walk, I mean, get that on base percentage up.
2-0 the count. Curry into the windup and deals. Inside to Thole, ball 3, and Curry has really never found control of the strike zone.
And I mean, it's against Kiki Thole with good reason.
3-0 the count. The bases are loaded with 1 away. Here's the pitch. Over for a strike. Thole thought she had a walk, but Charles Blackwell calls her back, and it's 3-1.
See if Thole is aggressive here if she gets a pitch.
3-1 the count. Here's the pitch, and Thole fouls it off down the right field side. It caroms off the press box window, and it's 3-2.
Lauren Curry, I think she knows Thole might be aggressive on a 3-2 count, looking for that third home run, maybe get one just off the plate.
3-2 the count. Here's the pitch to Thole. Rip back up the middle into center field for a base hit. McVeigh's in. Here comes Sealer. And now she'll scamper back to third as Schellmeyer got the throw in quickly. Diving back in safely is Sealer. But Kiki Thole, it's not a home run, but she'll take it. And it's 15-0 Wolverines.
That'll do just fine for Kiki Thole. Rocket right up the middle. And just moving the line along. We're going to have pinch hitter here.
Looks like it's going to be Jessica Garman pinch hitting for Melina Livingston with the bases loaded and still just 1 away.
One away.
And a new pitcher for the Wildcats. Fourth pitcher of the afternoon for Northwestern. Or actually, it's going to be Cammie Henry going back into the circle.
Yeah, just to stop the bleeding here.
And so Henry, who started this game, and was smooth sailing through 2 innings, gave up just 1 hit. It was a home run to Thole, but in the third, everything unraveled. Gave up 6 more hits, recorded just 1 out, and was tagged for 6 runs. So her line when she left was 2 1/3 innings pitched, 7 hits and 7 runs. No walks, no strikeouts, gave up a couple of long balls. And now, with the score 15-0, she comes back into this game with the bases loaded and 1 away, and the pinch hitter Jessica Garman coming up. Michigan has 14 hits and 23 at-bats. That's a 6.09 clip as a team today.
And I think one of the most encouraging things is only 1 strikeout. Very encouraging.
So here's Garman off the bench, right-handed hitter. Cammie Henry back into the circle for the second time today, the right-handed pitcher. Bases are loaded. Henry's first pitch home. At the knees for a strike, 0-1.
Garman, the senior catcher.
0-1 the count. Henry peers home. Now deals. Swing and a miss. Garman threw the fastball, and it's 0-2. Sealer, the runner at third. Mattia on at second, and Thole on at first. 1 away here in the fourth. 2 runs home in the inning, adding to what is now a 15-0 Michigan lead. 0-2 pitch. Outside, ball 1.
For Garman, a 1-2 count. Clearly Henry has better grasp or more control than previous pitchers.
1-2 pitch, and Garman swings through the fastball. She goes down swinging, and Cammie Henry into this game to try and stop the bleeding. Gets the second out. Another pinch hitter coming up for the Wolverines here. Looks like it'll be Avery Fantucci pinch hitting for Indiana Langford. Two away now, the base is loaded, and Fantucci, the 188 hitter and a right-handed hitter, steps into the box.
3 for 16 on the season. It's a great opportunity to get some RBIs.
First pitch, right down the middle, 0-1.
Three hits, all singles.
0-1 the count. Henry deals. Fouled straight back, 0-2.
See if Fantucci can battle here.
The 0-2 pitch, way upstairs, ball 1.
Great opportunity for the freshman who normally might not get in a game like this against a quality pitcher of Cammie Henry.
1-2 pitch to Fantucci, just below the knees on an off speed, and it's 2-2. Bases full of Wolverines, 2 runs home in the inning, adding to what is now a 15-0 Michigan lead. 2-2 pitch home. Squid back to the circle. Henry makes the play, and finally the side is retired. Michigan adds 2 more. It's now 15-0 Wolverines as we head to the top of the 5th. The offensive display continues today for Michigan. Nothing but good signs all the way around.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably their best game they've played this entire season against number 1 team in the Big Ten, handing them their first loss in 3 weeks, most likely a chance to end the game here unless Northwestern can score 8 runs.
And it'll be Durkowski back into the circle for more. She's tossed 4 spotless innings, yet to allow a hit.
The Diamond Dash. This is very interesting. They're
It
wearing
is very
diamonds?
interesting. And it's a relay race of
Oh,
sorts.
wow.
You run to one foul pole,
Like-
hand your diamond off, your inflatable diamond, and have to run all the way back to the other. See if we can get a chase down here. The first diamond has a sizable lead, and they're going to run away with this thing.
Wow. I mean, what happens if your inflatable diamond falls off?
I think you would lose automatically.
Yes. Wow.
Well, 15-0 the score. Michigan's put up 2 touchdowns and notched a 2-point conversion. Here in the top of the 5th, at Northwestern, perchance, down to its final couple of outs.
Chance for Durkowski to no-hitter.
And Kansas Robinson leads off the top of the 5th. Left-handed hitter steps into the box. Durkowski's first pitch is low, and it sails all the way to the backstop, 1-0. 7, 8, 9 due up in the Northwestern lineup against Durkowski. It's Robinson, Nader, and Nito for the Wildcats here in the top of the 5th. Down 15-0. 1-0 the count. Durkowski settles down and deals. And that one's hammered out towards right center. Chasing Mattia back in the gap. That's down for a base hit. It goes to the wall. Blair gets to it in at second with the first hit of the day for the Wildcats. And a leadoff double in the 5th is Robinson.
And I apologize for saying there was no hitter.
It's all your fault.
Yep. I mean, it's definitely all my fault.
That is how the announcer's jinx works.
Yes.
It is real. It's very much real. Robinson, the runner at second. The Wildcats, at the very least, trying to break the shutout here as Kelsey Nader, left-handed hitter, digs in. Durkowski into the windup. First pitch, fastball for a strike, and it's 0-1.
And, I mean, your first hit, really the first hard hit ball here today for Northwestern.
0-1 the count. Durkowski deals just off the outside corner, 1-1. Durkowski just needs to get 3 outs here without allowing 8 runs, and Michigan will win this one via the run rule. Staked to a sizable 15-0 lead in the top of the 5th. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball over for a strike. Well, that's vintage Durkowski right there, going back to the off speed.
And it's been a long time since Kelsey Nader's hit. Struck out swing in the second, but that has been a long time ago.
1-2 the count. Robinson on at second after the lead-off double. Durkowski deals home to Nader. Wave and a miss. She went after the high pitch and goes down swinging for the first out of the 5th.
First 4 strikeouts of the game were on off speed. Her first strikeout on the fastball. The high cheese, as they call it. Really high and away. Really, not really a competitive pitch, but
We're going to have
Nader was really
pinch
really
hitter
antsy there.
here for the Wildcats. It's Ayanna Lindsay pinch hitting for Grace Nato. And it did seem like Nader was a little jumpy at the plate, chasing that pitch up and away. So it's Lindsay, the right-handed hitter, steps in against Durkowski in the circle. Michigan basically 2 outs away from winning this one via the run rule, barring a Northwestern miracle. Durkowski's first pitch misses high, 1-0.
Crowd, despite this score, no one has left this game.
Well, the weather has turned for the better, and Michigan's up 15-0. 1-0 pitch. That's in for a strike, and it's 1-1. And that's all Durkowski needs to do right now is pound the zone and guide Michigan to the win.
Lindsay, the sophomore infielder.
1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Back to the breaking ball and in for another strike. It's 1-2.
There it is. We haven't seen that pitch in about an hour, and
it's still just as sharp. 1-2 the count to Lindsay. Here's the pitch. That's low, and Lindsay able to hold her swing. It's 2-2.
Good idea there. Tried to get Lindsay to chase the breaking ball. I wonder if she goes to 3 straight breaking balls.
2-2 the count. Durkowski deals home. Fastball fouled straight back, and it stays 2-2.
Yeah. Lindsay just barely caught up to that one. I think the fastball looks just as sharp as it did in the first inning.
2-2 the count to Lindsay. Durkowski deals. Foul straight back again, so Lindsay off the bench and making Durkowski work. There'll be a 7th pitch of the at-bat upcoming.
It's so tough when Lindsay's having worked so hard just to catch up that fastball, and you know in the back of your mind that this devastating breaking ball is in the back pocket of Durkowski.
2-2 the count. Durkowski back into the circle. Robinson off of second. There's the pitch home. And swing and a miss. Another breaking ball. Lindsay out in front. And Durkowski has Michigan an out away from a win.
Yeah, Lindsay sold out on the fastball, and it cost her.
And back to the top of the order, Skylar Schellmeyer, one last-ditch hope here for the Wildcats. Schellmeyer 0 for 2 on the afternoon. The left-handed hitter climbs into the box. His first pitch is low, 1-0.
Looking strikeout and a ground ball to the pitcher for usually dangerous Schellmeyer.
1-0 the count. Durkowski deals. That's over for a strike, and it's 1-1.
I don't think she liked that call.
1-1 the count. Schellmeyer taking her time to get back into the box. Durkowski waiting at the circle. Here's the pitch home. Just outside, 2-1. So to the very end, Charles Blackwell remaining stingy with his strike zone.
Yes. Very stingy. That one, again, we don't have the best angle, but the crowd thought it was good.
2-1 the count. The pitch home. Slapped straight back, a foul ball, 2-2, and Northwestern down to its final out.
I think again, not a pitching coach, but it seems like Schellmeyer a little behind on the fastball. I think go back to the breaking ball. 2-2
the count. 2 away in the 5th. Durkowski's pitch outside, ball 3. And Schellmeyer has that great eye, as we mentioned, with those 5 walks in yesterday's game. Maeve Nelson would be next. Or actually, it's Bridget Donahue, rather. Pinch hit for Nelson earlier. 3-2 the count. The pitch home. Flown to right. Mattia has it lined up. She makes the catch, and the ball game is over. Durkowski twirls a one-hitter. Michigan pounds out 15 runs, including 12 in the 3rd, and the Wolverines take Game 2 of the series in dominant fashion, winning 15-0.
Just a fantastic game from the Wolverines. Rubber match tomorrow, and fantastic games from this whole Michigan team, including Lauren Durkowski, the shutout, 5 innings. 6 strikeouts.
And on the day that the official unveiling takes place to rename this place to Alumni Field at Carol Hutchins Stadium, the day began with a beautiful ceremony for Hutch, and it concluded with a romp. Michigan takes Game 2, 15-0. Game 3 will happen tomorrow. We've got baseball coverage ongoing at WCBN2, so just click that mouse and switch over there. But that's going to do it for our softball coverage this afternoon. For Coby Segal, I'm Jared Greenspan. Thanks so much for listening. And we'll leave you like we always do after the 15-0 Michigan win with a good night, or good rest of your afternoon, and a Go Blue.